Speaking on camera can be intimidating at first, but once you got the right skills and techniques, you not only get more comfortable being on camera, but you'll be able to make a deeper connection with your audience. On this live stream, I'm going to be talking about how to prepare before you go on camera, then some of the things that you should do while you're on camera, like your voice, your posture, setup, etc. And then we're also going to be talking about some best practices. My name is Herman Drost, and my channel is all about how to grow your audience on YouTube so you can generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot. I started in my channel in 2006, and my first videos are pretty cringy to watch because I was very stiff and I was just reading from a script. So it's going to take a lot of practice for you to get better, and I wouldn't say that I'm perfect, but I'm always trying to improve my delivery, posture, voice, etc. What is your biggest fear, or what was your biggest fear about going on camera? Put that in the chat, or if you're watching a replay, you can put that in the comments. The whole point really is to be confident on camera, and because the people on the other side of the camera are gonna know if you're super nervous, if you're just a new beginner, whatever. So the more relaxed you can be, the more confident you can be, then you can people can connect more deeply with you. Some of the benefits of being comfortable on camera: it helps your viewers to relax. If you're uptight and tense, and usually if I'm really in a hurry to get a video done, then I'll speak really fast. And then my wife would say, well, how come you're speaking so fast? Because when you speak to me, you speak in a normal voice. So sometimes you're not even aware of how different you speak when you speak on camera. Probably because, you always listen to the voice inside your head, but you don't see your voice when it's fed back to you from the camera. So it's going to be a bit intimidating, and maybe you don't like the way you sound, and therefore you get to feel a bit self-conscious. But if you can relax, then that helps a lot. It also helps viewers to consume your content. So if you come across very naturally, like you're conversing with your best friend over coffee, that'll help them to connect with you. You're also going to have more fun. The whole point of creating videos is that you want to have fun doing it. So if you're always uptight, I need to create a video because I have a video that needs to be scheduled and I don't have time, but maybe I'll rush through this video and get it done, get it out there, then that'll be probably picked up by your viewers as being a rushed video. So you want to relax, have fun, and enjoy the process. It's going to also improve engagement and watch time. So if your delivery is really good, then that helps the viewers to consume your content, but also helps them to stay engaged. Maybe they like you and like what you're trying to say, so they'll watch your video all the way through, which helps to improve watch time. So watch time is a huge factor when it comes to ranking, and the longer that people are engaged with you on your video, then that sends a signal to the YouTube algorithm that they're staying longer on the platform, and maybe they should show more of your video to other people's watch pages. It also helps to get more videos filmed. If you're stressed out, uptight, don't have much time, um, you're not feeling great, all these factors, go into the video. But if you're not ready for making a video, you're not comfortable, then it's very hard to even make go all through. Maybe it takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or even an hour or longer to make your video. But then if you maybe had 2 or 3 videos that you want to get done, it's going to be very difficult if you're not relaxed, you're not getting into the flow to make a great video or make a series of videos. So those are all just some of the benefits of just being comfortable in front of the camera. Productive skills is saying that I'm always worried to make high quality content, but then I learned that you need to start, and quality improves over time. Yeah, practice makes a big difference. If you just take your cell phone, and you don't have to show the video to the public, but you can just practice over and over, just walking around the house talking to your phone, then play it back and maybe get a objective feedback from your wife, from your siblings or partner, etc., and see what they say. How to prepare before filming. Preparation is the key. And first, you want to prepare your mind. So you want to be passionate about your niche. Now, if you're not, and I've done this before where I've created videos that I didn't know the topic really well, and even though I researched the topic, but it's not the same as somebody just coming up to you and say, hey, what's your channel about? And then you can just rattle it off to them, without thinking. But if it's a kind of a complicated subject or topic and has a lot of technical terms to it, it's going to be hard to come across really passionate. But ideally, the more passionate you are about your topic, then it's going to be easier to talk about it in a relaxed manner. Secondly, you have to think about, you're talking to one person, you're not talking to 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people. So you might have 10,000 subscribers, but you're not talking to 10,000 people. You just have to focus on one person. So in that respect, just imagine or visualize yourself talking to your wife, talking to your best friend over a cup of coffee, and then that's, if you're enthusiastic about your topic, you're familiar with the person. That's why it's good to, know the audience that you're speaking to. And this will help you to be relaxed. And you're not going to be perfect. Like, for instance, on this live stream, like last week, I had an echo coming through. So that was kind of upsetting. But you kind of just got to roll with, especially if you're live, then you just got to kind of roll with things and try to fix things as you go. One time I was on a live stream, and then a cockroach or a beetle was crawling over my shoulder, which I wasn't aware of until someone on the other side of the screen said, hey, there's a cockroach crawling on your shoulder. So then that I was kind of struggling trying to get rid of the cockroach. So all kinds of things can happen if you go live. But the good thing about just recording a video is that you can edit out all the mistakes, the ums and the ahs, the waffling, bad lighting. You can redo the video if the lighting's not good, if the mic's not good as well. So don't dwell on perfection. Mistakes can be edited out. And then you also want to, do different things to relax. So some things you can do that I do, I'll listen to music, I'll maybe do some exercise, do some push-ups, I'll play the guitar, if I'm stressed out, then I'll probably go for a walk or a run. If you hadn't had much sleep the night before, you're really tired, maybe you want to drink a couple of cups of coffee, but you don't want to drink too much coffee that you're kind of so hyped up that you're going to be speaking really fast and intensely. So you have to be kind of careful with that. I think the most important thing, and this applies to public speaking too, is to focus on the message instead of yourself. So you have great content that you want to convey to your viewers, and in public speaking, you don't want to imagine, how you look or how you sound. You're kind of so self-conscious that you forget about the value of the message. So focus on the value that you're bringing across to your audience, and then you should be fine. Then the jitters and the nervousness goes away. So usually at the beginning of a video or beginning of a live stream, when you first record the video, you might be a little bit nervous. So then if you focus on the value that you want to bring to your audience, that will eliminate or reduce the jitters. So those are some tips to prepare your mind. Then you also want to prepare your space. So the best, for me at least, is to have a dedicated space. So I'm in my office. I'm in my basement, but I have an office in the basement. Then I have a couple of soft boxes, to the right, to the left, and then I got a ring light in front of me. Then I have the camera directly, in the same level as my eyes, and then my mic, is in front of the camera. So all I have to do is switch on the lights, put the camera, in front of my computer, and then put the mic in the right place, and I'm pretty much set to go. But if you always have to move the lights and mic, etc., then you could make some mistakes. So it's always better to have a dedicated place where you are making your videos, and then you might even have several places. Like sometimes I go on the other side of the wall, which is another place in my basement, and then I have a different backdrop on that wall, and I'll sometimes do videos on that side. So right now I've got the wooden backdrop, and then my other videos, regular videos, I sometimes will do a different wooden backdrop with some natural scenes in there. So make sure that you prepare your script. So usually I have a list of bullet points that I'll write down in a Google Doc. So I have an iMac, so I can have the live stream right in front of me, the screen. And then to the left, I'll have a Google Doc open with some bullet points, so just that I'll know what to go through. But for this live stream, I usually use slides, so I can repurpose the slides. I can save it as a PDF, and I can kind of also show graphics during the live stream. So best is to write down some bullet points, or have a script ready. So the whole idea of a script is that you're going to stay on track, and you go in a particular order as you go through your video, and then it'll help you to avoid going off track and waffling, going off on different tangents. So it's a great way that you can cover all the points you wish to cover, stay on track, and also in your mind you can have that order, and you don't have to necessarily sometimes look at the script because you know the order already. Make sure the camera lens, look into the camera lens and make sure it's at eye level. Sometimes people put their camera a little bit higher, but you don't want to have the camera way, all the way up, so you're kind of looking up at the camera. And also you don't want to have the camera too far down where the camera's looking up at your chin. You also want to have a little bit of space above your head, like in this case, you got a hat on, but have maybe a couple of inches of space above your head. If you're too close to the camera, then you're gonna cut off your head, or if you're too far away, then maybe your the sound won't be picked up. So just have a set space, and then if you're something that will help to see as if you're if you're speaking to one person, is to, if you have a flip screen camera like I have, then don't look at the flip screen, but you're looking directly at the camera lens. And if you want to make it easier, as if you're talking to a friend or a person or a sibling, put a picture of your wife, your husband, or your sibling or friend over the flip screen, and then you can imagine you're just having a conversation with them. But don't look at the picture on the flip screen, or don't look at the flip screen. You want to look directly at the camera lens. So sometimes I forget about that, because you see yourself on the flip screen and you think this is where you should be talking, but you should be looking directly into the camera lens. And then what I always do is to do a check before I, film the whole video. So I'll typically do a video, do one take, and then I'll play it back, and then I'll look at the lighting, the sound, the video quality, etc. So in a live stream, it's kind of difficult because, like last week, I just went with it, and then I got feedback. What was there's an echo, can't hear you, etc. So at least with a regular video, you can make adjustments, you can edit out the background noise, etc. Geeky Girls saying that, do you put the picture there so that you feel as if you're speaking to someone? Yeah, I'll put a picture of my daughter there, or a picture, in this case, it's a picture of my daughter and the screen there, oldest daughter. And I don't usually do it now. I used to do it a lot, but now I'm kind of more comfortable on camera. So, but it gives you it helps you to visualize that you're just having a conversation with a member of your family or a friend. So it does help you to relax and to be more natural. So you want to check the background, the lighting, the sound, etc., and then film a test clip before you go all in for the actual video. Escape Artist saying, good to see you. What if you are unpleasant to look at, ugly? How to work around being unattractive and still have a good channel? I think it's all in the eye of the beholder. My mantra is focus on your message. Even if you're ugly, even if you're, like one time I had, what did I have? I had like a growth over my eye, and I thought, I'm like just some allergic reaction. So I had a big growth just above my eye, and I thought, what am I going to do about my videos? And I said, the heck with it. I'm just going to focus on value, and I'm just going to convey value. I'm just going to forget about this big thing over my eye and just go. And nobody, maybe everybody saw it, but they didn't say I didn't like your video because you had the big thing over your eye. So even if you think you're ugly or don't sound good or have an accent, if you convey value, if people get value from your content, that's the main thing, and that's what you should focus on. How to frame yourself. I talked about that a little bit already, but particularly if you're going to put some text or some graphic on your video, then it's good to move to the side. So in photography, they always talk about the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds means you're usually off to the side of the photo. So this would be something to keep in mind when you're shooting your picture for your thumbnail, is to thing about the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds will be you should position yourself to the left or the right, and then have a little bit of space, a third of the space like above your head as well. So in video, you can position yourself, a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, and then have some space above your head. So in that way, you're kind of framing yourself right. And then as you're speaking, you can also change positions. So I see a lot of YouTubers doing that, and I find that it kind of breaks up the monotony of a talking head video. So you might start on the left, and then maybe after the second or third take, you move to the right, or even in the same paragraph, you could speak 2 sentences, then pause, then move to the right, and then speak a couple of sentences or speak a paragraph, then move to the left. So you're kind of, moving. So just as like you might be standing talking to a friend, you might, change position. You might stand on your left leg, and then you'll change position to the right leg. Or you might even look away and then be pondering, and then look back to the person you're speaking to. So framing yourself, like in this instance, this will be on the left, it's on your right, but I'm positioned to one side of the frame. You also want to avoid being too close. So if you're really close, then you're going to chop off your head. If you're too far away, then it's kind of hard to see the person. So people are kind of attracted to seeing your face, so they see the expressions on your face, and they see you talking, etc. So they're connecting with you, and that's the beauty of video, is that they're connecting with the person on the other side of the screen. So I kind of came to realize this, like once I went to a video conference, and then several people came up to me and said, "Oh, wow, you look exactly like you do in the videos," even though they never met me in person. So that's the beauty of videos, that you're looking exactly like you would if they met you on the street. So yeah, changing positions. So you can add graphics, you can add text overlays, etc. Now we're going into how to deliver your content naturally. So the camera is not natural. It's not natural to just speak in front of a camera. You're speaking into the air, but that's why you really have to imagine you're just having a friendly conversation with your best friend, your siblings, your wife, your husband, etc. So let's look at that. Talked about this already, but maintaining direct eye contact. So you want to look directly into the lens. You don't want to look at the flip screen. Occasionally you can look somewhere else, and you might even have a prop, like you might look down, like if you're drinking a glass of water, you're looking down at your glass of water. So I don't need to necessarily keep looking and then drink, but naturally, like if you're talking to someone, you're going to look at the water in your glass and then have a drink, and then you'll also follow the glass to the side. So those are sort of some of the natural movements you have. So to be relaxed, you want to take a few deep breaths before you hit record. So if you're pretty stressed out, or you're upset, you had a fight with your wife, your husband, or the dog bit you or something, then you might be stressed out and you don't want to hit record. Instead, you want to find that place in your mind, like in your mindset, to be relaxed. So take a few deep breaths, dance, sing a song, jump around a bit, etc., and try to be in that relaxed state. I also find that if you just smile, I tend to not smile a lot in my videos. So now I'm working on trying to smile more, which helps me to relax and helps other people to have more subconscious, likable feelings. So smiling, try to smile with your eyes, smile with your teeth, but you don't want to be unnatural about it. So if you smile before you hit record and then go and hit record, start making your video, it's actually easier. I don't want to stare the camera down. So you don't want to just, you do want to blink a few times too. Some people, when they get on video, they never blink. So you want to blink, just like you're talking to a friend. You're going to be blinking a few times. So I don't know. It's kind of hard not to blink, but some people do that. Looking away from the camera occasionally makes your performance more authentic. And if there's another person in the shot, say you're interviewing someone, then you want to also look at that person. So say if I had another person that was next to me here, then I would turn around and acknowledge, what they're talking about while they're talking. So that's just a natural view. Let's talk about posture. So ideally you want to have your chin up, shoulders back and down. So usually when it means sitting at a computer a long time, you're kind of a bit hunched up, and or you might be kind of completely relaxed like this. But if you're too relaxed and just sitting back in your chair, that's not really a position of authority. So when you're sitting down, you want to lean forward a bit and keep your chin up and your shoulders back, so you're conveying the content as a person of authority about the content. And then if you're standing, you want to stay balanced and comfortable by, have your knees slightly apart, your feet about a hip apart, slightly bent. You don't want to stand straight and robotic without your knees bent, but you want to, be able to be comfortable on your feet, have them a hip width apart, and then also looking directly into the camera lens and having your shoulders back, having a good posture. So I said here that if you're sitting, if you lean forward, it helps you to appear a little bit thinner and taller. So if you're, have a lot of weight, then, on camera, you can, thin yourself down or make yourself look taller. And then also you want to wear suitable clothes. So you don't want to just come in your pajamas or, a shirt that's got coffee stains on it, but, dress reasonably well. I wouldn't say dress in a suit, maybe unless you're a lawyer, but, something that's appropriate for the audience that you're conveying your content to. So think about your posture is a big thing, and I've seen that people have often been on video and then they've been too relaxed because they've been sitting back or something like that, and then they haven't got a very good posture. Okay, let's talk about how your voice should be. So I mentioned before about taking a deep breath. So usually I have a script, and then I'll look at the script, and then I'll take a deep breath. So I'll say I have a script here, and then I'll have the script like on a chair next to me or on a table next to me. I'll take a deep breath, and then I'll start speaking the words that I have written on the script, and then I'll pause again, and memorize maybe or look at the next point that I wish to make, take a deep breath, and then speak again. So if you do that, that means you're going to have a more smooth, you can make a smoother transition in your editing process. But if you go quickly from one point to the next, then it's going to be you're going to have those hard breaks during the editing process. So you're going to mention one point and you're going to go straight into the next point. Instead of like in a normal conversation, you're going to have a bit of a pause. So when you're speaking or when you're delivering your content, you want to deliver a point, then take a pause, and then deliver the next point. So if you do that, then it's easier to edit. There's a more smoother flow between a kind of a more natural flow between the points. And also you can more easily edit out the mistakes. So you're going to take a deep breath, pause, smile, and hit record and start speaking. And then usually it's even a good thing to try to smile before each new take. So that helps you to relax your face and helps you to come across more authentic, more relaxed, and maybe you can even smile while you're making your presentation. So try to smile with your eyes, with your teeth, etc. And that's much better than being super serious or robotic like when you're delivering your content. You also want to end your sentences on a low note. So if you uptalk, like use a rising intonation in the final syllable, then you sound a bit insecure. So instead of doing that, you want to end your sentences on a low note. So just like I did, end your sentences on a low note. So you're going down. And then you want to speak in a clear, deep voice. So of course, my sisters, they don't really necessarily, you might not have a deep voice, but just use the bottom of your natural vocal register. So some people, when they get on video, they're all hyped up and they're speaking on a very, like at the top of their register, and that's not really natural. So you want to kind of speak naturally. And another thing I probably didn't mention in my points is that the camera takes away some of your energy. So if I'm just speaking like very naturally, like I do in everyday life without being on camera, I'll be speaking a lot softer like this. I'll be speaking in a lower voice and I'll speak not very much energy. So keep that in mind when you're on camera. You need to elevate your energy, maybe speak a little bit louder than you normally would, because the camera is taking away some of that energy. So then, do things that raise your energy before you come on camera, but don't raise it up to such a high level that it looks kind of weird or sounds weird. And then you want to come across confident. So if you really know your stuff, you're confident about the topic, the subject that you're trying to convey, then it'll be obvious to the viewers that you're coming across as a person that is confident and knows the topic. So that's what you want to convey to the people on the other side of the camera. Here's some filming tips. So I mentioned about visualizing you're talking to one person instead of millions of people. It could be your friend, your spouse, etc. And then typically I'll film in small sections. So I'll film like the first bullet point, I'll film that, and then I'll stop recording, and then I'll start recording again on the second bullet point, etc. So you're following an order. And then when it comes to editing, maybe you made a mistake in one of the segments of your video, then you can quickly identify the segment that you made a mistake in, and you can redo that segment instead of redoing the whole video, and it just makes editing a lot faster. You also want to pace yourself by adding pauses and intonations. So generally, I have kind of a steady voice, but I know that, if you want to be more charismatic, then you want to have more intonations in your voice, and then also be able to take pauses between the points that you wish to make. And as I mentioned previously, you're going to smile before you film each clip. That helps. And avoid speaking too fast. So you don't want to just rush through your presentation. And as I mentioned previously, you want to keep hydrated. So keep a glass of water handy so that you can hydrate yourself. You also want to avoid distractions. You want to switch your phone off, turn off your notifications, lock the door. One time my wife came running in during my recording or live stream. So you might think that nobody's going to disturb you, but maybe people forget that you have a dedicated time that you record your videos. So maybe tell your household that between 3 and 4, I'll be recording a video, so please don't disturb me. Some best practices. Best practices is to practice, practice, practice. So if I look at one of my first videos that I did many years ago, then I was pretty stiff. I read from the script, and I wasn't very relaxed. But the more you do it, the more you talk in front of the camera, then the easier it becomes. Now, when I go out in public, like outside, and I'm in the public, like even I'll go to my local lake and be people walking or jogging around the lake, I'm still self-conscious about being on camera because I'm kind of self-conscious about other people seeing me recording a video. But if I really focus on my message, then I kind of blot out the people that are running, walking past me. And or you just turn the camera around so you don't see them, but they might appear in the background of your camera. But the biggest message is to just focus on your content, the value that you're trying to convey to your audience. And it's, that's the same in public speaking. If you're on the stage, and if you're outside, in a mall or on the street, and you have people whizzing by, and you want to record a video, then just focus on your message. Maybe have your bullet points ready. I usually have my phone handy, and I'll just look down at my phone and then start speaking the content. So you keep a script on your phone. Film a test clip before you start so that you don't check that your lighting and mic is on and your video quality, you got the right settings on your camera. And just be confident when even like there's the phrase fake it till you make it. So you may not feel confident, but you can fake it on camera and come across like you're an actor. So you see the actors in normal life, you think, wow, they're so different when they're on that movie because they can act so well when it comes to being on film. So in the same way, you're actually appearing on video, so you could, if you practice enough times, then you can fake it till you make it, and then eventually you're going to make it. And then most of all, you want to enjoy the process. So you want to have fun recording the video. So sometimes I'll don't want to make a video, or don't feel like making a video. So then I'll try to change scenery, and I'll go outside or go to the lake or waterfall or something like that. And just by changing the scenery, for me being outside, I get energized, The only problem is that, you got the sunlight, you got flies, you've got different shadows and sunlight and all the elements you got to, that you don't really have control over. But changing scenes helps you to kind of, get motivated and get inspired as well. A couple other videos that you can watch that related to this one is all about how to write a good video script for your YouTube video. And the second one, how to plan and film a YouTube video so you get consistent growth on your YouTube channel.